Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive.
Okay, so we're going to jump right in, and today we're looking at potential podcast names.
These are all themed around love, life, and relationships.
Okay.
And we've we've got some titles here from our listener who wants to start a podcast.
Yeah.
And I think some of these are really interesting, and I'm excited to kind of dive into them.
Yeah.
So first up we have Unfiltered Hearts. Conversations on love and life. I mean, unfiltered is such a buzzword these days. It seems like everyone wants authentic and real and all that. What do you think about that word unfiltered in this context?
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head with the authenticity and the rawness. You see that a lot with podcasts like Call Her Daddy. And even, something like Armchair Expert, which is a little bit different, but still has that, that kind of that realness, that honesty. And I think people are really craving that right now. And so to frame a podcast, especially one about love and life, as unfiltered, I think that's a great way to kind of signal to your audience, like, hey, we're going to get real here. We're not going to sugarcoat anything.
Yeah, and even the conversations part of that title makes it sound like it's approachable, and it's like we're just chatting with some friends.
It's intimate.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, and then speaking of connecting, the next title we have here is Connections Matter, Exploring Love, Life, and Growth. And I really like how this one expands beyond just romantic relationships,
Yeah, it's not just about, finding a partner. It's about all the different connections in your life and how they can help you grow. And I think the word exploring there is really key because it suggests a journey. It suggests that, you're going to learn and discover things along the way. And I think that's really appealing to listeners who are interested in personal development.
Yeah, and that ties in really nicely with the growth element in the title as well.
Exactly. It's not just about, maintaining relationships. It's about using those relationships to become a better version of yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. This next one, I got to say, this one really intrigued me.
Okay.
It's The Life Exchange. Real talk on relationships.
Oh, interesting.
I just, that life exchange part really jumped out at me.
Yeah, it's very evocative.
What do you think about that?
Well, it makes you think about the give and take in relationships. Like, what are we actually exchanging with each other? Is it energy? Is it knowledge? Is it support? I think it really gets at that kind of deeper level of what makes relationships work.
Yeah, and it's not just about, the romantic aspect of relationships.
Yeah.
It's about any relationship.
Yeah, exactly.
Friendships, family, colleagues, all of that.
Absolutely.
And then, of course, real talk signals that it's going to be honest and authentic.
Yeah, no sugarcoating.
Exactly. Now, we were also talking about John as a potential guest on this show and Emily as a host.
Yeah.
I'm curious how you see their dynamic fitting into these titles.
Well, I think you got to consider their personalities and how they play off of each other. With Unfiltered Hearts, you've got Emily, who's, very bubbly and energetic, and then John, who's a little more, introspective and thoughtful. And that could be a really interesting contrast. They could really challenge each other and bring out different perspectives.
Yeah, or with the life exchange, you could have John's, life experience and his wisdom kind of grounding the conversations.
Yeah, and Emily can keep things light and relatable.
Right.
So it's really about finding the right chemistry. What kind of dynamic is going to create the most engaging and entertaining conversations for your listeners.
Right. So as we're wrapping up here, I'm curious, for you, which of these titles and which host-guest combo really speaks to you?
Well, I think it depends on the kind of conversations you want to have and the kind of audience you want to attract. If you're going for something, really raw and unfiltered, then maybe Unfiltered Hearts with Emily and John is the way to go.
Yeah.
But if you're looking for something a little more, introspective and focused on personal growth, then maybe Connections Matter or The Life Exchange will be a better fit.
Yeah.
It's really about, what kind of impact you want to have on your listeners? What kind of conversations do you want to spark? Once you have a clear vision for that, then the right title and the right host-guest combo will become clear.
That's a great point. It's all about the vision.
Yeah.
Well, that's all the time we have for today's deep dive.
But hopefully this has given you some food for thought as you embark on this exciting podcasting journey.
Good luck.
Thanks for joining us.